She's like, I want to get into the tank.
Keep it up. Keep filming. Whatever you do, keep filming.
I am doing it.
You are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video. You are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Kaylor! Hey, Greg. Fish and shrimp?
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things.
Kevin.
That make fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
All right. Oh,
Well, hi, guys.
What? She's still trying to climb.
Look
Hello.
what we're doing. We are catching fish.
She's trying to climb the glass.
Catching fish. Look at her.
She's trying to catch
She's,
it. She doesn't want me to remove her.
right. She's just too fascinated.
Oh my god.
Want to get some of those bugs in there.
She has a cat seat. I
Yes.
might just
Perch her.
perch her right here one of these days and just see what
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Great G, hey?
It's like a
Patrick.
winter. Let's stop filming.
Patrick Hamill. Hey, Patrick. You know what I need to do? I need to move
Oh,
something.
she's still going after it. Oh my
I
goodness.
already.
That's funny.
It's fine, honey. She doesn't really.
No.
Go ahead, take her. All right, here. Say goodbye to your audience.
Say goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Do the Queen's wave. Hold on.
Yes.
Way.
What great fun.
She does
Yeah.
wave by herself too.
All right.
Please, guy.
Go ahead, take her to the back room, honey. Where's my phone? Here we go. Hi. Got a little distracted.
That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
James Skype. Hello, James. Nice to see you. Kaylor is here. Kaylor Aquatics and Exotics. What kind of lizard? It's a bearded dragon.
Yes. And don't worry.
beardy.
He's not, this is not torture for either for herself or for the fish. She's just she's just looking through the glass.
That was fun. Fanatical. Hello, Fanatical. Good to see you. Craig Duniger. Fish and Shrimp by Rich is here. Here early and ready to learn. LEWRN, learn.
Is that what we're
I
doing?
love it.
We're learning?
We're learning, right? Well, I did some teaching this afternoon, and it fell flatter than a pancake. I did this once before, same subject. I don't know if any of you remember the video I did about water memory, I think it was called. This one was talk to your water. Learn to talk to your water. Flatter than a pancake. I mean, I got 50 views in the first 2 hours. I usually get 50 in the first hour. So it's not going anywhere. But I somehow, you know what's crazy?
What?
I I used the Tube Buddy utility to determine a really good title. And TubeBuddy said that title that I used would be enormously effective. Well,
And it didn't.
not even a little bit. Oh, well. Can't win them all.
Well, maybe it just needs to be tweaked a little bit. I don't know. I haven't
Yeah,
looked at it
maybe.
yet.
I need to find another way to tell that story, I think. I get in trouble every time I do it because people will come back and say, oh, that's nonsense. That's ridiculous. As a matter of fact, I went on a channel not to be mentioned about plants, I think, and mentioned water memory, and they about had a fit. They banned me for talking.
Wait, they seriously banned you
They did. They banned me
for
and then
talking about water?
talking about water memory.
You were just offering ideas, suggesting
Well.
that this could be something to look at.
Well, you see, they think that Father Fish is God, except they think he's a demonic God. So that what I say has the power of absolute authority, but it's wrong.
Wow, they
So-
give you way too much credit.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
I know. It's funny. Who else is
Kevin,
here?
I got your message today. I haven't replied. Kevin Rosenberg spawned Scarlet Battis, and he has confirmed that 2 of them are female. So,
Oh,
everybody become his best friend now.
troublemaker. That's true. That's true, fanatical. Too true. Fanatical saying yours. Can't be yours. I mean, must be mine.
Yeah, it's definitely your hair.
Yeah, I think.
Very
Look at
thick.
it.
Mhm.
Right. Oh, dear. Jimmy P. Hey, Jimmy P. Kaylor.
yeah.
Kaylor has been a friend and a compatriot the entire time I have been on YouTube.
Really?
He absolutely has. He started, golly, he was supporting me I think from day one. It's just amazing. We're 2 old farts is what it is. And but he's just such a sweet man. Agamas, Kaylor saying he has agamas that look similar. They do look similar.
When you say old farts, I think of the guy who yells at kids to get off his lawn. And that you don't strike me or Kaylor.
No, we're not hollering at kids.
Okay.
Not a bit of it.
Yeah. So what we going to talk about tonight?
Well, I started talking about water today.
Mhm.
I just thought, this is keep water, then keep fish, Kevin says. Yeah, kind of. The point I was trying to make is that, how can I introduce this? Years ago, many years ago, 40 years ago, I was visiting Henry Hall. Now, Henry Hall was, when I met him, he was 82. And he turned over his entire collection of fish to me because I was on the board of directors of the National Aquarium, and those fish became the first fish of the aquarium. Now, when I say those fish, he had about 40 tanks in his basement. The smallest tank was about 100 gallons.
Wait, smallest?
Smallest.
Oh.
He had
Where
some
was
200
this?
and 300 gallon tanks. Henry Hall, it was in Baltimore. It was in his basement.
Okay.
Every tank contained 1 fish. No substrate. He had homemade filters that were boxes that sat on the top that
Mhm.
had foam rubber in them with an air tube that lifted water up to them. That was his filtration system. No lights on them. There was ambient light in the room. Every tank contained one fish,
Was
which
there
means
anything else besides? I mean, you said bare bottom. Was there anything else?
no, just the tube, the lift tube. But these fish were 2, 3, and 4 foot long. They were all massive fish.
Oh.
He had a
Oh.
6 foot electric eel. He had a 4 foot a caiman alligator.
Oh.
He had a shovel nosed cat that was 3 foot long. Big stuff.
That's a good
Really
size.
Big stuff, right. Well, at one point, he was looking at an arowana. He had about a 2 foot arowana in one of the tanks, and it was acting funny. He said, "Uh-oh, there's a problem. The pH has dropped." And he immediately drained it down and refilled it, and the fish bounced right back just fine. That was all in a period of maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But he looked at that and it just dropped. Well, no, I guess it had been happening for a while, but the fish suddenly reacted to it.
Okay.
And he brought it, he knew what was wrong, probably because of the fish's behavior. He probably had seen that before and was able to pull some water out and refill it right away and overcame the problem instantly. And that just struck me in a way that few things ever have, because he did that basically, looking at the water.
He just looked at it.
He looked at the water and he knew there was a pH problem. And I remember talking to him about it a little bit. And he said, "Yeah, usually I can tell what the pH of the water is by looking at it."
Did he say why the pH drops? It was just
biological activity.
Okay.
Biological activity burns up carbonates. It typically does it slowly, but it will do it. So if you don't have replacement carbonates in the form of a substrate or something in the food or some such thing, it's gonna keep dropping until it reaches a point of no return.
I get that. That's where I live, we have hard water, but
right.
Wherever I keep a significant number of shrimp, I have to put minerals in. Even a planted tank, Father Fish, I'm sorry, but it's true. And now it doesn't happen right away, but right. I still have to supplement with stuff that the shrimp specifically need for.
Well, that's right. That's because they're pulling it out. Now, what you need to do
in the water column, they are.
You need to be feeding them material that is going to replace it.
I usually go with the vegetable matter, and I have this one where it's like completely natural, and it doesn't, when it disintegrates, if it disintegrates, I don't know, I have to show you, but basically the idea is it doesn't leave a mess. It's like plant matter, and it just sort of.
Sure.
Yeah. But I guess it holds the nutrition that you need. I don't know, this specific plant. Yeah.
Vanoxki is here. Hey, Vanoxki. T-Bone. Sunset Jen.
Hi, everybody.
Here's one for food. Shrimp.
Wait, what?
Shrimp.
For cherry shrimp?
Shrimp. Yep.
You
know how you take a shrimp, a raw frozen shrimp, food from the grocery store.
Okay.
And shave it with the blade of a knife.
Yeah.
Shave it fine, including the shell.
Oh, you include the shell with that?
Yeah, absolutely, because you want the chitin. That replaces the minerals.
Oh, and I just
you
drop
can
it
also in? Drop it in. You can also do the same thing with eggshell. Now you can crush eggshell into virtually a powder. Is a really good way to do it.
Yes.
because the shrimp will then pick that up and be able to digest it.
I have an old-fashioned mortar and pestle.
Mortar and perfect.
Yeah, I use it. Frankly, I'm an organic hippie, so I use it frequently.
What is this? Kevin's talking about legit fish food. Never heard of it. Is that what it's called, Kevin? Legit? Huh. Don't know. Haven't heard of that. There are a lot of fish foods. There's any big city has got several people who are making fish food and selling it in local stores. It's amazing. You can buy some really remarkable stuff that people are manufacturing. And a lot of it's really good quality, much better. Who is this? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, it's a website.
My.
Yeah.
My.
They did a stellar job on the website. Here we go. Perfect for tiny fish. Feed all your fish with one pinch. Great for everyone at the bottom. Learn why it's legit. I can look into it a little bit later. Ooh, they have free samples. Everybody likes free samples. But anyways.
Who else is here? I forgot about Gina's Reef. Olaf believed water had memory. Water does have memory. Yeah, Fanatical is bringing that up. It's been proven. It's actually been documented scientifically by doing. I don't know how they do it exactly. They use an electrometer of some sort, and they record the electromagnetic impulse of the water. And they've been able to take that and send it to another laboratory and have them instill that into new water and be able to identify the fish that those impulses represent. It's just kind of
it's a little different.
Crazy.
It's a little different.
Right.
There's so many things we don't know. And, I would argue that the most unexplored area of our world is in the ocean, in the bodies of water. And that goes from, the large stuff to the very, very tiny, to the movement of all of it.
The universe in a grain of sand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Patrick and Fanaticals are actually kind of asking something close around the same line. It's eggshell, does that raise KHGH or both? And then, of course, Fanatical is asking more or less if the cuttlefish bone for birds work for shrimp.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's calcium.
Yeah. I use cuttlefish bone. It's cheap. So I put it in all of my I put it in my scuds and my
snail
snail
big
tanks.
Box of it once, and somebody bought it all. I think it disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it. Mermaids is here.
Yeah.
Mermaids chorus.
Yeah. But if you're going to be raising scuds at all, whether for culture or just for fun, you do need to make sure they have some cuttle bone or some calcium, because they're crustaceans, just like regular shrimp are.
So the answer is it raises both. KH, which is carbonate hardness, raises GH, general hardness. So the principle is not all GH is KH, but all KH is GH. If you get that, you'll have a handle on it. It increases carbonate hardness, increases hardness. It's a carbonate type of hardness of mineral.
So I've had it so that my pH has dropped really, very acidic, like 6.0. And I've had more or less a normal amount of GH for my water. which is 120 parts per million. Now, normally my water with the KH is usually 80 parts per million, but in the case where we had the pH was dropped so low, my KH was closer to 30 parts per million. And then my ammonia just had spiked through the roof, but the fish were fine.
Right. So KH is carbonate.
Yes.
It's calcium, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And calcium.
So I had other minerals, but not calcium.
Yeah, precisely.
Okay.
Calcium maintains pH. I don't know how it does that. I've never really studied it to find out why or how, but that's what it does.
I'd love it if we did that because the internet's
we
not
need
very
to do
clear.
that.
Yeah,
we do.
The internet's
Absolutely.
not clear at all. And I went to school for chemistry, so I still.
Well, all right, good. Your job. You look it up.
Okay, fine. I'll look it up and I'll make a video and I'll explain it.
All right.
The issue is being able to explain it in layman's terms. That's been the biggest problem.
Oh, I know. Well, I do that with everything because I'm a layman. What was I thinking? Something ridiculous.
Something about water?
Gone. No, kind of got past that.
Oh.
Hello, Kenny D. Nice to see you, Kenneth. Patrick Hamill. All the reading I did on KH and GH, at no point did they make it as simple as all KH and GH, but not all GH and KH. Well, there you go. You need father fish to make the world an easy place to live.
I'm telling you. Hey, Fish and Shrimp by Rich says he's here early and ready to learn.
I saw that. Right.
I want a question out of him.
Learn.
I want a question out of him. So, challenge. Go. Accept.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Is he still here? Where is he?
Oh, T-Bones, you're right. Here's this one he was saying. T-Bones, you're right. You normally don't need to ever. It's never bothered or affected me. But sometimes when I have stuff going on in my tank that I don't really understand because I'm still learning, I always like to. It's scientific for me. I do it because I want to see what I see something in the tank that's different and interesting. I don't know, so I just test all the parameters to see what. It doesn't necessarily even have to be negative,
Craig Duniker, Craig's Catfish Cave is here. Good morning. Good morning.
Mm-hmm. Glad you're here, James.
Get back to the bottom. Jimmy P. Hey, Jimmy P. It's Mary's friend.
Oh, this is a good question. Oh, ooh.
Do it.
75-gallon at Petco, half off sale for $62.50. Last I checked, which was yesterday, it was $125 here. But
wow.
Yeah. He has.
That's right.
Yeah.
$125 for $60.
Well,
that ain't half bad.
Well, no.
Is that's 4 foot by 2 by 2, correct? The 4 foot tank, or is it a 6 foot tank?
No, it's the 4 foot. It's 75.
4 by 2 by 2.
Yeah.
Is it drilled? Does it have holes in the bottom? Do you know?
Mm.
Does it have an internal wall that is covering holes? Most of the 125s do, is the reason I'm asking, so that they can be used with sumps. It's a fabulous tank. Kyle, I'm going to call up the aquarium at some point and reintroduce myself as a founding board member and tell them I want to talk with somebody about Henry Hall. I got Henry Hall on the board, and he died shortly thereafter, but they created a scholarship for minority men, minority young men, to learn stationary engineering. Stationary engineering That's what Henry was. He was, what is that? He was,
Friday night, excitement in your neighborhood.
he was, he ran the physical plant at one of the big hospitals in Baltimore, Mercy Hospital, which no longer exists. But that's stationary engineer as opposed to like locomotive engineer or a ship engineer or like that. So anyway, and that's what all of the plumbing and whatnot in an aquarium is. It's stationary engineering. So they have a scholarship in his name to train young men to be stationary engineers and work at the aquarium. So I want to find out what's happening with that.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So what did we decide to tell Chris here about the weight of the 255? Oh, it's 55, 2 spare 55-gallon stands. For some reason, I read it as like 2 aquariums, like 55-gallon aquariums, and he'd set it on top. Please no.
A new 75-gallon. Yeah. Oh, that's a 75 half-full.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I have a 75, and originally what was on it was actually a 55. And I
oh, I understand. So
yeah.
the 75 is 6 inches deeper.
Yes.
Front to back.
Yes.
Than the 55.
Yeah.
And he wants to know if he pushes the 2 tanks, the 2 stands together, if that'll work. No, it won't work. And the reason it won't work is because if you've got the front of the tank sitting on the front of the frame, the back of the tank, only the corners and sides will be sitting on the frame. So the way to do that then is to cut a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, the size of the whole affair, and put it on that, along with a sheet of 1-inch styrofoam to level it. That gives it an automatic level, so it's not stressed anywhere by a warp in the wood or some such thing. So yes, you can do it, but you're going to have to modify the top in order to ensure that all 4 sides of the tank are supported, because otherwise they're not going to be.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research on that because I live on the 3rd floor of a condo building. So I was trying to figure out the maximum amount of weight that I could get away with. And, you know, there was like, they had stuff to do with spreading out the weight, and so that it wouldn't be as, if the weight is in a small area as opposed to, spread out evenly, the more surface area you have, the more weight it can hold, essentially.
Right. Well, think of it this way. A big man weighs between 200 and 250 pounds. I weigh 240 pounds. A 55-gallon tank weighs approximately 500 pounds. Sand, tank, water, the whole bit. That's 2 big men. Not 2 huge men, but 2 6-foot, stocky, if you will, men. Any spot in the house should be able to hold 2 men.
Yes.
So a 55 should rarely be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that means a 100-gallon tank is going to be comparable to 4 men. Any spot in the house ought to be able to hold 4 men, 4 grown men. All right. When you get up to 6, 8, and 10, that's when you start getting in trouble. That's when you have to make sure that the tank is running perpendicular to the beams and not horizontal with the beams.
Okay, so you're telling me, and this is exciting because believe me, the internet out there is very confusing about that. So if you're putting the units into essentially a grown man, a large man, which would be approximately about what?
250 pounds, say.
250
That'd be
pounds.
a big man. A big man. Yeah.
Okay,
Not
so
a giant, not a huge man,
yeah.
but a big, solid man.
So you could safely
me.
put 4 men or 6 men, and it would be fine.
Well,
It's when you get up to 8 and 10.
yeah. What would you trust in your house? Think of it that way. What would you trust?
What do you mean?
Would you trust 4 men standing in the middle of your living room? Sure,
Yeah.
you would. Yeah,
Yes.
you would. Right.
Yes.
No different. It's no different. That's 1,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 pounds is roughly a 100-gallon tank.
Okay.
So a 100-gallon tank is equal to the weight of 4 men.
But what about 6 men in the middle of
Well,
the
there you go. I mean, once you begin to reach the point where they're cheek by jowl, then it becomes important to put the weight horizontal with
Spread
the
it out.
beams. No, it's not a matter of spreading it out.
Oh, okay.
The studs that hold the floor run in one direction. You don't want the tank running in that same direction, because then only one stud will be holding it. You want them running perpendicular across 3 or 4 studs.
Oh.
Studs are 18 inches apart. So if it's a 6-foot tank, that's 4 18-inch sections. Dig? So you want it running across 4 beams.
Yes.
So that 4 beams are holding it in place rather than just 1 or 2.
Okay.
Like that.
That
So you
actually-
need to know what direction the beams are running in your house. And you should know that anyway. You should always do that with any tank, because you want the weight to be spread across more than one beam. Otherwise, what's holding the tank are the wood slats of the floor and not the beams. The beams need to be able to hold the tank.
Okay.
Like that.
That actually helps me, and now and in the future as well. And Mike, thank you so much for the super sticker. It's so appreciated. Never asked for, but always welcome. Appreciate you, man. Yes. So going back to Patrick is relatively new, and he's been asking some questions in the chat mostly about the pH. It sounds like he's been
Here we go.
dealing with
all right, tell you what to do with this, Patrick.
Okay.
You got acid buffer and alkaline buffer. I'm gonna tell you a little story. Then I'm gonna tell you what to do. I had 2 5-pound containers, one of acid buffer and one of alkaline buffer. Now, they look the same. They're both a white powder. I had them in 2 buckets, and I've been using them for years. They were in a new fish room I set up, and I had a brand new helper in the fish room, and he was so excited to be there and to be able to help. He was just working his little butt off trying to be helpful. Well, I went down to my tanks one day, and I started adjusting pH. This is before I learned not to do this.
Learn not to do it.
Right. One of the reasons I learned not to do it. So I put some material in, and the pH went up, and then it went down. And I thought, what? And I tried it again. It went up, and then it went down. And I looked at him, and I looked at that, and I said, what's going on? I don't know. And I began looking around. And the other bucket was gone. I couldn't find it. It was the pH up bucket was there, but the pH down bucket was gone. And I said, where's the other bucket? He said, "Oh, I needed that for water, so I just dumped them together because they're the same."
Oh my.
Right. So I went up and I went down. Made it utterly useless.
No kidding. They balance. Oh
Really.
man, they just
Actually.
neutralized each other.
True story. True
Oh.
story. So I threw that out. And I never used it again. That was it. I was done with that stuff.
Well, if okay, so when it comes to raising the pH, I mean, there's so many things that work. And you've taught me this. Eggshells work. The cuttle bone that the birds use, that works. Baking soda, that works. And
Calcium chloride works.
Calcium
I'll
chloride.
tell you what else will work. Vitamin C tablets work.
But what if they have flavoring in it? Like it would have to be like straight up, like powdery.
Well,
pill,
I don't
right?
know. Then the fish might develop a taste for cherry or something. I don't know.
Well, you know.
Probably won't hurt anything, but yeah, vitamin C works.
Vitamin C
Same
works
thing. It's
too.
got calcium in it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about lowering the pH? That was a difficult for me. And then I started putting leaf litter, and yeah, it was mostly the peat moss.
Yeah, biological activity.
Yeah.
Biological activity burns off carbonates.
So I mean, the more my fish poop, the lower the pH goes.
Theoretically, now the reality is, if you have very hard water with a high KH, you will struggle to get it to come down very much. It won't come down easily.
I do.
Quickly.
It shocked the heck out of me when I found a fish tank with like a 6.0, and I was like trying to figure out what happened, and I was like, well, if I need an acidic tank, I know what to do now. I put in a lot of peat. I put peat granules. I actually had a piece of wood that was leaching tannins, and I was using alder cones.
Yeah.
That were soaking in a bucket for a week.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah.
So, Chris, if you're going to do a cinder block, consider the weight of the blocks, because I don't know what they weigh. They're about 25 pounds per 8-inch block. So if you're going to do 6 blocks, that's 150 pounds on top of the 650 that you already got. You're pushing 1,000 pounds then.
Yeah, I was considering the weight of the sand, deep substrate, as opposed to the weight of the water. I was doing
that's 3 to 4
that.
bags, so that's 200 pounds of sand right there.
Yeah, I was doing mathematical calculations on that.
Right, water's 8 pounds a gallon, so that's 600. 6 and 2 is 8. The tank itself is 100 is 9. The stand is 50 or 60, depends what you make it of. So you're easy at 1,000 pounds.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's where it's at right now. At least on my 75. So it's holding. Woohoo!
So it becomes significant to know how it's sitting on the floor and where your beams are running, so that you're not creating stresses. Here's the thing: the tank isn't like jumping up and down. It's steady state, same weight, constant pressure, unrelenting pressure, continuous pressure. You've been under that kind of pressure before, you have a sense of what that means. It never gives up. It never gets lighter. It never gets easier. It is hard and heavy all the time. And that can collapse things. Can cause, over time, that can create stresses that break things down. So it really is important to know that you're putting your tank in a room in the strongest position it can be. particularly a big tank. Little tanks doesn't matter so much, but anything over 50 gallons, 7,500 gallons. I took a tank out of, or was supposed to take a 400-gallon tank out of a house once. It was acrylic, 1 inch. I think it was an inch, might have been two. Really thick acrylic. The thing was 5 feet tall, 10 feet wide, and about 4 feet deep. Monster tank, 10, what's that, 45's 260. Weighed about a ton. Just the water was a ton, 2,000 pounds. And he had about 500 pounds of sand in it, 2,500. The stand, I don't know, that was heavy. Probably a ton and a half altogether. Monster tank. I had 10 big men. They were fire department firefighters, big, strong men. They could not lift the tank. I gave up on it. I gave up. They could pick it up, but they couldn't do anything with it. And there was no easy way to get it out of the house. I mean, it was an impossible situation. We've had to take the door frame off to move it. So I gave up on it. I was going to come back with a lift. Meanwhile, the one called me and said, "Don't worry about it. I got it taken care of." It was taken care of by Ohio Rescue, who sent some people down. They dropped it.
The Ohio Rescue people dropped it?
Well, that's what I heard. They dropped it and it broke. It was ruined. So it went out in pieces.
Well, maybe they were able to salvage some of it. You know, I know they have a lot of tanks that are constantly needing repair. Who knows?
Maybe.
So this is Mike. This is Mike from the Discord, Father Fish. You remember how he set up his first deep substrate Father Fish system, and
sure.
Had some what we would call some beginner issues. I don't know. What do you call that?
Okay. Yeah. Right. I got it.
Yeah. And so, you know, between you and I and Josh, we kind of figured out what the issue was, and he's got everything set back up. I actually sent him some plants. He added more sand. I think at one point you advised me to tell him that he needed to add a little bit of baking soda in order to raise the pH, which he did. Now it's last I checked, it's at a perfect 7. You told him to leave the lights on 24/7 and I told him to put more plants in, which is essentially what you've told me. And then he went today to get more leaf litter humus stuff to put in the tank. And he also picked up a bunch of plants as well. So he says he doesn't see any critters. Should he assume the micro-fauna are all there?
Yes, he should. Get yourself a little hand lens. Just a single lens.
Like a magnifying glass?
A magnifying glass, right. That you can use. I've got one around somewhere. I have not unpacked it yet. I don't know where my lens is. But yeah, a little lens that you can magnify about 10 times. That'll allow you to see the little critters, the microorganisms around the glass. They're in there. I promise you, they're in there.
I use my son's magnifying glass. It's so cool. That's actually what got me hooked on live foods and the ecosystem.
Right.
And all of that. So do you mind if I show off the tank behind? Kevin wants to see it.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I got a camera.
I got a camera that can move now, I think. Maybe. Oh, I guess
T-Bone liked the pond video.
Yeah, I like the pond. I had fun making the pond video.
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was so much fun. Oh. Come on. Where? And here we go. Okay, so here's my little murder beans.
I've got the killifish in there. Now, I do, oops. Moving the mic. I do have a little bit of a regret. There's some glare. Let's move the glare. Yeah. Here. I guess you can see this better now. I have a regret because I added a flagfish, a single flagfish, because the plants are doing great. There's an explosive algae. I keep having to remove the frog bit. There we go. See, it's chasing. There's that flagfish.
There he is. Yeah.
Yeah, constantly chasing the killifish, and so I need to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remove him probably tomorrow. He leaves the pea puffers alone, which probably it's because he's smart. I have a little bit of diatom buildup, and that's because I have so much driftwood in there. Ooh.
Yep. Hey, Moon Boots.
Hey, miss you, Moon Boots.
Grave Sepultura, oh boy, Supul Torero. Grave Sepulturero. Father of all fish. Nice to have you with us, Grave. We just turned you blue. Scotty the fish freak. Someone say killifish, killifish, killifish. Scotty.
I've got
There's
3
Kaler.
killifish in there.
$9.99. Thank you, Kaler.
Yeah.
Right there. Let's get that posted. There.
They're doing really, really good. I'm enjoying this.
Nice.
I'm going to
It's
add.
such a cool tank. Yes.
Yes, I'm going to add an auto. Okay, so I'm going to move this back. So, hi.
Killies are indeed wicked cool fish. You betcha.
Yes, they are. They're fun.
Well, Scotty has a lot of them.
Yay!
There she is.
You made me mess up my setup. Here we go.
Do not remove flag fish. Get him a buddy. If he's a companion. Well, that is possible. That could work out because they will chase each other. And they will chase each other.
Yeah, but I don't think he's really making a dent on the diatoms.
No,
So
okay.
I'm probably going to add him to the outdoor pond at some point with the rest of his buddies.
KBH does double flags in his nanos. That's nice. Good to know. I haven't really
I was going to
followed that. Yes.
I was going to put autosynclus in there because they are so much more effective at getting the diatom algae taken care of.
Right.
But so you have to have 2 flagfish. That's what KBH was saying. Like,
Yes, she is, Grave. Yes, she is.
all right. Oh, bucket of snails. I have snails. I have so much.
A bucket of snails, really.
Yeah. I put so much snails in there. I'm constantly having to put more in. They do not last long. Some of them do, and sometimes they're enough to lay eggs.
Did I send you rabbit snails?
You did.
How are they doing?
One didn't make it. The other 2 are in my outdoor plant aquarium.
Okay.
And the mystery snails are mating. I don't know if any of their eggs have hatched, but they're having fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they're also in my plant aquariums. I'm a little scared to. I mean, I don't want to add them in with the pea puffer tank. Obviously, they're too pretty for that. And I think the killies actually eat snails too. The killies were eating the snails as well. That's what's crazy. Yeah, that's what's crazy about it.
And Grenwood, hey Grenwood, nice to see you. Scotty, how's the new place? I don't know. I can't really tell. I'm here. I've got my bed set up. My clothes are hung. My kitchen is unpacked. I've got all the furniture in place. And that's as far, my computer set up. That's as far as I've gotten. So, and I've got a long ways to go. I brought about a dozen tanks with me. They're all sitting out back collecting rainwater.
Well, that rainwater's a good thing.
Well, I guess. My brother told me I need to turn them upside down. or I
Why?
won't be able to move them.
Yeah.
Who was
Um,
saying they were using killies for bait for flounder?
I think that was
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, and Mike. Yeah, I've done that. The there's a killie in the Chesapeake Bay. In fact, I ought to be able to get it here. I caught some down in Florida. It gets big. It's a mummy chug. They get like 4 or 5 inches, and they're fat. They're really a great bait fish.
Yes,
And
I
I
know.
I had those, and I had a dozen large sailfin mollies, 3 to 4 inch sailfin mollies, and I had caught a little grouper about 4 inches long, a little one. Put him in with them. Every one of the mollies and killies disappeared, just flat out disappeared. I guess he ate it.
Of course he did, and he appreciated you too.
I'm sure he did.
Now, didn't you say that you have a guppy? You brought a guppy from
I have
Florida.
one. Yeah, I don't even know where it came from.
You
I
don't
have
have
one.
guppies.
I don't have guppies. Right. I got a female guppy in that tank, a big one.
A big female
My
guppy.
one tank. Yeah. I had put a bunch of fish or left a bunch of fish in the tank, and they
Mhm.
were doing pretty well. I had 2 inches of water. It was sitting outside. Everything was doing fine. And then Frank brought me some pygmy sunfish in a very muddy water. And I dumped the whole thing in. The mud fouled the tank and killed everything except that one guppy and 3 bushy-nosed plecos. So that's what I got left. 1 guppy and 3 bushy-nosed. So tomorrow I'm visiting a new shop called the Cichlid Store, I think.
Mhm.
It's in Dover, Delaware. Paul, who you met at the Venice Club, and
Yes.
you were on with him here. He told me about this place. It's run by a woman who he respects and likes a lot. She's out of Jersey, I think. Active in the local clubs up there. So anyway, I'm going there tomorrow. So I'll see that tank or that store.
I
And may
absolutely
get some fish
adored-
from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not been able to figure out where I'm going to get fish yet. I can have them shipped up from Florida. I got to get tanks set up before I can do that.
Yeah, you do. I
Yes.
absolutely adored Paul. He is a sweetheart.
Yeah, Paul's a nice guy.
I admit I kind of bullied him into coming on to the live stream with me.
Well, you know what's really kind of nice? He showed up about 3 months before I left and
Mhm.
started attending the club meetings and was excited about it. Another fellow, Joe Rollo, had been attending. Now, Joe started a club in LA or San Francisco, one or the other, that now has 2,000 members. Can you imagine a fish club with 2,000 members?
I don't know how to do it.
I can't even imagine. Anyway, so both of these guys show up to get involved in the club, and I'm really excited about this. And
Yeah.
then I leave. Well, Joe is now president, and Paul has taken over all of the more technical aspects of the club's activities.
Yeah, I know he
So-
appreciated the tanks you gave him.
I gave him a lot of tanks, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I hope he goes back and
literally,
gets some.
yeah, he came back he had literally been in Florida for 3 months. So, what is Mike talking about? They gave up on those and give us squid instead.
Oh, yeah, they're using squid
Oh,
to catch
okay.
flounder for
Ah,
flounder.
Ah,
flounder.
okay.
Flounder bait, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm so glad, Mike, that you're bringing in more rummy noses and the Siamese algae eater. My Siamese algae eater schools with my rummy noses. She just does. It's so cute to watch.
Thank you, Fanatical. Yeah, I do have a nephew who's excited about fish, and I'm trying to get him over here to work with me. He asked me if I wanted to do a shop, and I told him,
Yeah.
well, in truth, I've been thinking about you and your wife running a shop. And he said, oh, I'd love to do it.
Okay.
So
Plans
we'll
in the
see.
works.
Yeah, maybe something really cheap, evenings and weekends. Maybe. We'll see.
You are retired after all. Technically.
Well, I'm not going to run it. I will support it, but I won't run it. Huge supporters of local clubs. You bet. You bet.
Oh.
Platinum sponsor, the Keystone Clash. Scotty's talking about. Is that the club? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
that's the one where it's the Fish Club one.
Yep.
And
Nice.
apparently it's only a couple hours from where you moved to.
Yep. Yeah, it's about a 3-hour drive, I think, or so.
Yeah.
I will need to do it. I've been so exhausted since I've been here. I'm sleeping all day every day. I get a little bit done and then I sleep. So,
you need
but I'm
to.
gradually getting some energy back.
Awesome.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Total Tropical said first notification he's gotten. I don't begin to understand all that about YouTube. I really don't. I know not everybody who clicks the notification bell gets notified. I'm clear about that.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of shows that I have to manually click the notification bell. Like I have to search for it, actually go to their channel and click the notification bell. And it's only a couple of them, and I suspect it's because YouTube doesn't like them very much, so they make me go the extra mile. But we'll talk. Yeah, who knows? It's a private enterprise. Yeah.
Nice.
Super.
Yeah, I'll be up in the Dover store tomorrow. That'll be fun.
The Dover. Okay, so that's the Dover store then.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, they're going to take 4 vendor spaces just for cichlids? Interesting.
They had more than cichlids,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess they specialize.
Ah.
Looking forward to it. Partnered with Hans. Oh, okay. Yeah, Hans moved over to Rehoboth in Delaware,
Uh-huh.
which is less than an hour from me. So I'll be able to get over and see him too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a lot of. I don't think there's much happening in Salisbury where I'm living. There's not a shop. There is one pet shop that has about 20 very derelict tanks, and nobody with any sense about keeping fish. So there, and it's a big city.
Mm-hmm.
Salisbury is a good sized city. I don't know what the population is. It's certainly 100,000. So there's potential for a shop if I can figure out how to do it simply, cheaply, and without killing myself time-wise.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to retail jail again. I've been there.
Well, you and I have been talking about doing revitalizing your online store again. I have a lot of live cultures I'd love to share with people, especially the blackworms. I've got vinegar eels, and I discovered that I accidentally cultured like a ton of scuds. Like I found some coarse sponges that I had just flowing through a tank, and they've got so much scuds in there. I'm freaking out over how many. I had no idea that they breed so prolifically.
Christy.
Yes.
Crystal, what's up, Father Fish and EJ? Regarding water changes after a new dirty deep substrate, how much and how often? How do you know when you stop? Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do water changes. If you have a good reason to do it, then by all means. But don't do water changes for the sake of doing water changes. It's counterintuitive. Watch my video today on how to talk to water, because it goes into that very issue of water changes.
I do top offs. I've got a couple of tanks, including this one, that I have done some minor water changes simply because the tannins have built up so strong. It colored the water, and I know it's good for the tank, but my aesthetic eye, it was violated. So I did some minor water changes every once in a while. It's usually like about 20% or less, but other than that, I don't touch it. I have no reason to.
Yeah, generally top offs are adequate, particularly if you're topping off with tap water. Now you can top off with RO or distilled water. In other words, pure H2O. There's kind of no point in doing that because the likelihood of your building a hardness that would affect the fish is negligible. In salt water, it can happen. It's not going to happen in fresh water.
Well, my water has a lot of minerals in it, so, and I need all the minerals I can get.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Scotty, we're going up to pick up. My brother is driving me up in the morning. He doesn't know we're going to a fish store yet.
You're going to surprise
he's driving me up to pick up an air conditioning unit for my little cottage here.
So Crystal has a follow-up question.
Yeah, I see it. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. You go ahead. I actually have to grab my computer charger.
No need other than ammonia nitrite spikes. Yeah, and if you got a lot of plants in there, it's not going to be an issue because the plants will be able to absorb the ammonia and nitrates. So unless you're seeing stress with the fish, you really don't need to worry about it. And that would be the condition. I mean, if the fish are being stressed, then you need to figure out why. But I can't say I've never seen it happen, but it's pretty uncommon.
This is what happens when I cage myself into a corner.
Right.
Yeah.
Nano Escape 30. Hello. Nice to see you. Yeah, Scotty, we're just kind of in for it. We're going to leave early.
Oh, we are?
12:13. Yeah, we're leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, dear.
To go out and get my air conditioner. So the store may not even be open when we get there or while we're still there. I don't know. And I'm going to have to talk him into taking me to it.
Well,
Glad to see you.
Yeah. Offer to buy him breakfast or something.
Right. I bought him lunch today. We drove over to Ocean City today. That was nice. He wanted to get he needed a pond liner for his koi pond. So we went over there. That was half an hour.
So your family.
And I crossed three. I crossed a creek, a river, and a ditch. 3 bodies of water we crossed that are within 15, 20 minutes of me. So I'm going to be checking them out.
Ooh.
And see what's in there. Gotta be something.
Oh, I'm sure
they all look really good too.
Okay. Yeah. Notice my male blue-eyed lemon bristlenose was continually in his cave. Today I flashed a light in there and it is loaded with baby yellow fry.
All right. Good going,
That's exciting.
Barb. That's fabulous. Mm-hmm. How about that?
And Nanoscape
Oh,
has,
that is so cool.
10 days old. Crazy how fast they hatch. Golden Wonder Fry. Senegal, is it bikers? Big birchers?
Bikers, yes.
Bikers.
Oh, my word. He spawned Senegals.
Is that hard?
It's unusual.
It's unusual. They must be very happy
And
then.
he's got 25 3-week Golden Wonder Fry. Hey, good job. Good job, Nanoscape. That's very cool. I hope you have a video of that because there's not been much documentation of bikers spawning and raising fry. Do what you can to get it on video, please.
Yeah, so learn about the behavior. Like, if you can, at least, document the circumstances in which they spawned, the environment that they were in, and, all the little details that you can think about.
Oh, Nano said he's got them all on his channel.
Oh, okay. How do we how do we post you
The
guys?
link?
Yeah, to his channel. I don't even know how to do that. I'm a terrible moderator. Actually, I don't want to be a moderator because I'm terrible at it. I usually just show up and troll.
Let's see if I can do it.
Yeah, coming on this live stream with you is like the most responsible thing I've ever done in my life. Maybe. I just set up a 30-gallon with the supplements you sent to me, Father Fish. Do you agree that when a new tank is set up, it's better to add even more resurrection jar stuff and leaves to get it going?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Make it as mucky as possible. No.
Right. Really. Everything's falling apart here. All right. I was trying to do something.
You're trying to post Nano aquarium guys or
I'm
Nano.
trying to find his channel.
Well, he can actually do it himself. He's got a wrench.
I know. Post your link, Nanoscape.
Yeah.
Here it is. There he is.
Nice.
Look at this. Look at this. Can you see him?
Yeah.
Doobie-doo. There he is. What is this?
Nice beard,
Ponds.
buddy.
Look at the ponds. Big ponds.
Oh wow.
Big ponds. Wow.
That's the life right there. Look, it's so cute. It's so
Oh, my
cute.
word.
It's
Wow.
just a little baby. And that's oh my gosh, it's adorable.
Huh.
There's-
Honestly.
And the bikers are taking care of their babies, like they're not.
No, I'm sure they're not. They're an egg scatterer.
Okay.
I don't think they do any care at all.
Oh.
He's got music. It's got music on it.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. That is so cool. I need to not take apart, but I need to double check on my Scarlet Batis and see how they're doing.
Yes.
And I have a paired off, and they're in a separate tank now. Pygmy, Sunfish, Everglade?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And I'm, he's been coloring up for her big time. So who knows what will come of that? Who knows? But I think you're planning on getting your supplements going again, Father Fish?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got it all here. I got my channel back up.
Okay.
The only thing I'm not going to be able to offer right now are the pygmy sunfish.
Okay.
I may be able to later. I don't have a source for them right now.
Okay.
But I've got a guy collecting all of the other Florida natives, and I have somebody who's willing to ship them up to me. So I think we'll be able to do that. Nano's got him shooting out eggs. Very cool. Very cool. We'll get into that. That's really neat. Yeah, Crystal, yes, absolutely. The thing about the the food web is that you really cannot overdo it. The more you put in, the stronger the food web is going to be. And what EJ just discovered is that having a very strong food web in the tank creates an environment where stuff can spawn and will spawn. You'll have fish, shrimp, inverts, everything spawning in that and developing in it because it provides an immediate food source for babies. And that's what everybody is looking for. I mean, all of the adult fish are looking for an environment that has food that their babies can eat. And that's when they spawn. Rainer Trofer.
Mm-hmm.
What is this link?
I was, you and I were talking about, so putting together not just supplements, but even the dirt for the nano tanks. Say if somebody wanted to put, so that way it'd be like the correct mixture.
Yep.
So there would be no guesswork, especially in the smaller containers where there is just not a lot of room for error. So you're talking about not just the supplements, but the dirt itself. And it would be for like maybe 1 gallon, 3 gallon, 5 gallon.
Yeah. Little stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The little stuff makes, and at least have that established. And so that at least I know that I have difficulty with the smaller tanks, and it's not because it's not because the supplements or isn't correct. I have a problem with not doing the math right and then putting too much nutrients, and then next thing you know, cyanobacteria, yay. So I think, not just myself, but everybody out there would enjoy making it easy, user-friendly, if you will.
Oh my God, look at this. Look at this.
What? Oh, going back to this?
The Senegal spawning.
Oh my gosh.
So they're an egg scatterer. Look at that. That is so cool. I don't know how big they are. They're probably 8 inches. They're good-sized fish. They're not little. They might even be bigger. I mean, they've got up to almost 2 foot. They get pretty good size.
Oh, wow.
My hunches are about 8 to 10 inches. That is so cool.
Oh, I can see an egg. I was going to say.
An egg, right? Yeah.
Or what kind of plants are in there?
Might be plastic. I can't tell.
Doesn't matter. They're happy.
I'm betting it's plastic. Look at that. That is so cool.
So
that's the female in front.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Nice.
That's love right there. Love helps you scatter eggs.
Really?
Yeah. So, Kevin, update on my scarlet batis. It seems to be it's 2 females and 1 male. It seems to be that the male has a favorite, but he tends to chase both. But lately, they've been hiding more, and he's been chasing them away from places. So I think I need to get in there. And now I hadn't separated them because I kind of wanted to see if I could still do baby fish, because I'd layered it was a deep substrate, but I heavily layered the top part of the substrate with leaf litter and lots of moss and pearl weed and hornwort. And so it's like there's just plenty of places for any baby fish to hide. And so I was kind of hoping that something like that would give at least the babies a fighting chance, because I wanted to see if it could sort of happen naturally. I don't know. It's so thick in there. So it's on my list of things to do. Probably this weekend is to check out the tank a little bit more closely. I need to add a little bit more water in there too. They seem to enjoy when I add water because, evaporation, and they get all excited when I add more water. So maybe that has something to do with their breeding patterns. I don't know. But yeah, that is the update of the tank. I don't know. I mean, they're definitely spawning, but I don't really know beyond that. I was kind of hoping it would be easy and it would happen naturally, but I think we're going to have to do a lot more research and make it a little bit more methodical. We'll see.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get both of those going, that's
Yeah.
going to be really
Well, I'll probably just get on the Discord channel because there's a lot of folks, including Kevin, who know
Right.
exactly how to do it and have done it successfully. So
And
I might have,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to change some things around the tank to make it more to set it up better, I guess. So yeah.
Kenny E,
Hey,
good
Kenny.
to see you, Kenny. Hi.
Hi, Kenny. What up, fish people? Yes.
Huh.
Awesome. Oh my God, that footage was amazing.
That is remarkable, isn't it? I've never
Mm-hmm.
seen that. I've seen big ones spawning, like 2-foot bikers. I had a friend who had half a dozen, but they were just spitting out eggs. I mean, I don't even think there was a pair. I think it's a female that was full of eggs and was just dumping them basically, because it was in a very big tank with about a half a dozen mixed species.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Skipper.
Yeah. Hey, Paul. Nanoscape says egg traps with artificial, some Swasser tang and Java moss tied to a stick.
Cool.
So.
Now, yeah, those are adhesive eggs, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think he was
Right.
letting us know how the setup was. I mean, that's awesome.
That is so cool. That really is just really impressive.
Mm-hmm. I spawned a bunch of cherry shrimp by accident again.
Good job.
In a tank where everything in there will eat them.
Right.
I don't think this
Well,
is
you know, you've got your tanks are set up in such a way that they're so natural and there's so much food web that the animals living in it cannot help but spawn. That's the natural condition of a fish or an invert is to breed. That's what it does naturally and normally.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's living typically in an environment that facilitates that behavior. That means that it's living in an environment where there's enough food, not only for the parents to fatten up, but for the babies to be able to eat. Baby fish have to eat continuously for at least the first month. That means all day long, every day. If they don't, they die because they have no fat reserves. So they're building their bodies by eating, which means there has to be a continuous availability of the right kind of food that isn't going to run out. Because if it runs out, they're done. It's all over. They won't survive. Which is why you need to feed baby fish 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. You're basically feeding them all day long. Now, that's not so much true, or at least not so difficult with live bearers, but with egg layers, particularly with tetras, it's critical. With bettas, it's critical. With some of the bigger fish, it's not so critical because they can eat the flake food or whatever that you've got. But having that natural environment, having that environment where there's a lot of microscopic food is going to create the opportunity for the fish to be able to spawn. And they're really not going to spawn naturally unless there is that. Or if it is there, they will spawn. I guess that's more to the point.
Well, I want to show you what else.
Stuff, yeah. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
want to show you what else I found in the same tank that has a lot of, that ended up getting a lot of cherry shrimp. Hold on, it's this one. I hope I'm going to have to mute it. There we go. Those are my butterfly Borneo hill stream loaches.
Wow.
And I threw in some veggies the other day, and it's the same ones. They keep going over and over and over, and to the point where they actually created like a little valley in the sand substrate. And you know, of course, my my betta fish peacock, he had to get his nose in there. I don't know if it's in this one or not, but I just thought it was, I didn't know what this was. I thought it was aggression at first, but folks in the Discord suggested it was a mating ritual. It's always the same ones.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
That small one's a female.
Mm-hmm. So it's, who knows? I don't know if I'll get babies out of it, but they're definitely trying.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
Oof.
that's it. Wait a minute. It's Nanoscape is talking about this same tank, 55-gallon community aquarium, big T-bar, chocolate ghost knife, tire track eel.
Male deal easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna get one. I guess because I guess he's gonna upgrade because it's getting a little tight there with them growing.
Nice. They look great. That's real impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fanaticals, I wish I was as lucky as you. I have never attempted breeding projects. I've always been about the fish and the natural ecosystems, and boy, do I have a handle on live food. I accidentally cultured bloodworms. I mean, who does that? But I'm attempting 2 projects, and one will be the scarlet baddest just because I love them. So instead of starting easy with the live bearers or the guppies, I'm just going to go right for the nano fish that half the time you can only feed live food.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know.
Let's see. Is Lucas going to be coming up? Let's see if Lucas. We'll see if Lucas is going to be coming up.
Oh, he should be. Yeah. But, you know, going back to your move, and you have a lot of new stuff happening, Father Fish, just, you know, it's been a big move. Take your time, settle in. We're all excited for you. And I'll admit a little impatient, but we know moving's hard.
Yeah, I've been surprised how wiped out I've been, and a little concerned about it because I'm kind of feeble, and I'm overweight, and I've not been able to do much of anything about both of those conditions. So while I really want to overcome the feebleness and the mobility and the weight, I may not be able to. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm starting to feel a little more energetic, so I'm at least gratified about that.
Good. Yeah, got to take care of you, for sure. What are golden wonder killifish?
It's a pretty little fish. They get about 2 to 3 inches. It's a surface fish. They live pretty much at the surface. Okay. Golden, it's a killie. They're fairly common, easy to find, a little aggressive, and they're jumpers. I don't know how well you do. It's a pretty fish. I think the thing to do is to talk to JR about killies, because he's gonna.
You mean RJ?
RJ, yeah, he's gonna have the best advice. RJ is our killie expert on our Discord channel. Anybody wants to know anything about killies, come on over. You know what we don't have? We do not have a killie channel. I'm going to create a killie channel. He'll be thrilled.
Oh, yes.
He loves typing long, protracted commentary.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, so I'll give him a place. I'll give him a place to do it. That'll be cool.
I am trying to post your channel, Discord channel on there for
everybody to see. And I think I just did it.
Who
So
is this?
there we go. Oh, hey,
There he.
how are you? Oh, you need your mic on, dear.
I got no mic.
Nope, can't hear.
You know what?
He's
I don't think he's live. He's the what? How did that come up? You brought that up. That's on your
It's-
channel.
Oh.
That's his earlier live stream.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You know what? It was because I posted my the dance of my loaches. It probably went.
Oh,
it-
came
it-
up from there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Huh.
Darn it! I thought he was here. Oh well.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, it
Alex.
looks like it looks like Nanoscape's literally a killy nerd. I've heard
Breeding
it,
clowns.
I heard it clown.
Oh,
killies are
I love
really
it.
Pretty.
That's my all-time favorite killie is the clowns.
Mhm.
I love the clowns.
Aren't they known as the rocket fish?
I never heard that. I don't know. Maybe.
It might have something to do with the way they jump. I've been reluctant to keep killies for the longest time just because I didn't have a solid like all the lids I had always had like holes in it, and
HB. Hey, HB.
for filters and some of the plants that I grow out of the tank. So I've always been a little scared that if I get clown killifish, they'll find those holes and jump out, because that's what all the research says.
I don't know. If you put duckweed on top or rickia,
Mhm.
rickia is better. They're not going
Rickia?
to jump through that. Yeah, that'll keep them in. Saran wrap. Nanoscape uses saran wrap. Works perfect.
Yes, I have.
Rockets do the little flame shape of their tail.
That's
Sunset Jen
that's
said,
their
yes.
nickname.
Right.
Yeah, that's their nickname. But yeah, they've been the killies, and the 3 killies I have in here have actually been doing quite well, because I have it structured so far that there isn't much to jump, and then I have frog bit over the exposed parts.
Right.
So
Right.
that's actually been working out pretty well, knock on wood. I mean, and it also works well for the coolie loaches as well. They try to climb out, or I've seen them climb out of tanks. So I always get concerned about that. Yeah.
Let's see if Lucas is coming up. I didn't see his link in my
Mm-hmm.
get to his channel.
So if I were to, and I wouldn't be making any money from it, but if I were to start offering live food cultures for people who were interested in them, do you think there would be some interest for that? Things like scud cultures. I have vinegar eels for days. I'm trying to build my Daphnia culture back up again because of the hydra, but it's getting back up again. But eventually that would be too. And I was also thinking about green water laced with infusoria.
I don't think he's got a stream up.
Yeah.
He may not have put it together yet. There's nothing listed. Talking about Lucas.
Yeah. Oh, Nanoscape needs a microworm culture in the works.
There you go.
Oh, so again,
There you
well,
go.
I mean, even if you don't want to breed it, like even if you don't want the live food cultures to breed, it is just the most fun thing to watch the fish go for it. They're more excited about that than just simply fish flakes.
Look at this. There's 6 in a row. Stud culture, Factor E.
Yeah. Bunny, the plants I sent you
Honey,
probably already have scuds on it. So
really,
just
really
nurture it, and then at some point you'll see something crawling around the tank. You go, what is that? And then you can thank me. I have plants. I enjoy being able to either give them away or like essentially not make any money off of it, but to at least make sure that people get the plants they need to help balance their tank. I know you told me I should start selling them, but the reality is,
no. I'm reading her comment
Uh-huh.
about the bag leaking. When you
Yeah.
ship plants, you
Uh-huh.
do not ship them in water. You put them in a plastic bag and seal it
Mhm.
like a sandwich bag, but no water. They do not need water.
Oh, okay. It was, I think because I took out, you know what? I got lazy. I took out the hornwort and the frog bit like a day early, and I wanted to make sure they would still be okay. I should have drained the water before sending them off. That was my bad.
Yeah, you're paying for water and you really don't need it. I got some plants I was buying from Dustin for a while because he's got pretty unusual stuff that nobody else carries.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get plants from him that were completely compressed, flat as a pancake. I mean, just squashed flat.
Yeah.
And I'd look at that and say, man, there's no way. Put it in water and it immediately just exploded
right up.
open. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no water at all.
Yeah.
But you don't want them dry either.
Right.
I mean, if you wet paper towels, roll them in that, and then
Mm-hmm.
put that in a plastic bag, like a baggie, a sandwich bag.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
I'll start doing that. You know, before my plants, when I first started getting into this, and before my plants really started taking off, I would meet people in parking lots, and we would exchange plants in a very suspicious manner, and they were always wrapped in paper towels and plastic bags. So I should take a lesson from that.
Can you vacuum seal plants? Johnny says. Yeah, probably.
Mhm.
Probably. I don't know that there's any advantage. I was frankly shocked because that's exactly what Dustin's plants looked like. They
They were
looked like
vacuum-
they were vacuum sealed. There was no air in the bag. I ship with air in the bag. These were essentially vacuum sealed. And it
Mhm.
just kind of blew my mind because they popped right up as soon as I got them in water.
Well, one of the big reasons why I haven't been, I guess you could say, selling, other than making, other than covering shipping costs, is, you can get plants from various different people. My plants are what you would call true organic. I literally grow plants in some of my green water tanks, and it's still green water. I mean, they often have duckweed. They're going to have snails' eggs, ram's horns mostly, but there will be bladder, and they're going to have be covered in microfauna, whether you know it or not. And there will be scuds. And yes, scuds are so hardy; they will actually make the trip. They will make.
Oh, they will. That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, like if you want like a true plant to start your, your food web, that's what I've got. I can't make any. I mean, and that's that's not a lot what people buy plants for. They want, they get mad if they get snail eggs and, things hatch. And I find that fun, actually. And then I watch the fish eat them, and then that's even more fun.
But there's one, Bunny Vapor saying, Father Fish, can you ship green water? Have you started your experiment yet? We were talking about this the other night.
Yeah.
And we don't know. We don't have an answer to that. But we're going to find out because EJ's going to put some green water in a container and put it in a black box and then open it in 3 days and see what's there. Yeah. I have a hunch that it will not survive shipping, but we'll see. We'll try and see.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try and see. Maybe, it's possible I can take some bacteria from a green water that might, I don't know. Yeah. What I tell people, if they don't want the microfauna that inevitably will come with the plants, is you can soak it in alum, which is a pickling spice you can get at the grocery store for a couple bucks.
Why don't you just put a blowtorch to it? Just burn it.
I'm just saying that if that's what they want sterile, there's your option. Burn
it. You want sterile, burn it. with a blowtorch.
You know,
Put a
Everybody's-
glow stick in a box. Huh?
yeah,
That's
everybody-
funny. That's
Oh,
funny.
We could put a glow stick in the
Blowtorch, right?
box.
Very
Yeah.
funny.
There is something. There might be something to that.
I don't think so.
I know that. I know that.
I
people-
don't think so.
I know that you can. They sell phytoplankton online. You can get phytoplankton, but that's for the salt water. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I don't know. We need to try it and see.
Yeah, we'll experiment because I know how hard it is to jumpstart a green water culture. It
What is
really
Bunny
is.
Viper talking about here? Those won't live there with fish. I want to grow a big culture for future pea poppers. What is she referring to? Snails?
Yes.
Scud culture. Oh,
Scuds.
scud culture.
Yeah. I put a bunch of baby scuds in my pea puffer tank earlier today.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Oh, they were having so much fun. And then the killifish were after them too. And
Oh, bad.
the killifish were you know, it was you know, they weren't like beating up on the pea puffers, but they were, you know, trying to move quick and grab the scuds before the pea
Right,
puffers
right.
could. Yeah. So
Scheller
I-
saying
okay.
microorganism to the key. Absolutely, Scheller. Absolutely.
And they're all over my tanks, and I purposely keep it that way.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Nano is saying that it needs microworms. I think you need Walter worms. Those are a little big for a microworm. A microworm's going to be too small. Daphnia, they ought to take Daphnia.
They will
Walter
love
worms.
that,
Yeah.
I know banana worms. Okay, so I've heard of three things. I've heard of banana worms, I've heard of micro worms, and I've heard of Walter worms. Now I heard banana
worms and Walter worms are about the same size.
Oh,
Microworms are microscopic.
okay.
Banana worms and Walter worms are a quarter inch long or so,
Mm-hmm.
to a half an inch. I mean, but they're a small white worm. Natoscape, come on over to Discord,
Yeah.
and we'll get you linked up with
Yeah, we've got a couple of
with
people.
worms.
Yeah, I've
They-
got one of the Discord members is actually sending me a culture of microworms, just because, and so it's very sweet of him, and I'm going to
Microworms
thank him
are easy.
profoundly. Yeah. Yes. I know.
Natoscape wants to know what Discord is. It's a chat channel. We need to post the link.
I just did. Let's do it again.
Oh, okay.
Be more than happy to.
Just click on the link and follow through. It's going to
Yeah.
ask us some information.
Yeah, it took me a minute to kind of figure out how to work it, but once you do, there is a section on there called Live Food. That's where you go. But what was I going to say? I don't know how big I know you said the microworms are probably too big for the biker fry.
Too small.
Or
Too small.
Yeah, too small for the biker fry. But I'm telling you right now, you know, there's in my muck bucket there's a bunch of things in there. I know they might be just as small, but you know, you never know. They might go for it. I mean, my betta fish eats vinegar eels.
Right.
Yeah.
Main thing is to get a bunch of food in there. Brian's too big, he's saying.
Yeah.
Walter worms, yeah.
But I mean, hey, they may even like planaria. Those might be
That
big.
probably would be too big.
That would be too big?
Probably.
Okay.
He's
Oh.
saying that Brian is too big. U.S. Scaper.
Brian, baby Brian.
Hey,
shrimp?
Bass Queen. Bass Queen is here.
Yay.
Hey, lady. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they take live baby Brian. The Liquorite take live baby Brian. So that's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you feed microworms to baby Brian? No. That's interesting. No, they're an algae eater.
Yeah. I'm trying to grow saltwater algae outside right now. I will keep you posted. I don't know if it will work, but I'm going to try. I've got plenty of sun. That's the one thing about living in the South. No, it's not the South. Texas never likes to be referred to as the South. Texas likes to be referred to as the West.
Nanoscape.
Yeah,
Brine.
I actually did get the instant baby brine from Amazon, like before I met you. Tried it. I was trying to give it to my chili rasboras, and because I just gotten them, I was trying to feed them, and they weren't interested in the instant baby brine at all. So I ended up looking for So I ended up.
It hatched in fresh or salt water.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? Did you hatch it in salt water? What'd you hatch it in?
What did I hatch what in?
The stuff you got from Amazon.
Oh, it was. It was
alive.
No, it was instant baby brine. It was like pickled baby brine.
It was not live.
It was not live. No.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Yeah, it wasn't live. Yeah.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. Poor bunny. I mean, sorry, poor bass queen.
Live's aquatic, yeah.
Yeah.
Lost 36 pounds. Mercy, you were not a big fat girl either. Bass queen. Goodness sakes.
Poor dear.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're getting better. She lives in Memphis, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not kidding. I had cherry shrimp and scuds in the same, they were literally breeding and coexisting in the same coarse sponges. That happened. Is happening. I have these, I don't even know what to do. I was like, should I just leave them? I mean,
I would.
I mean, they're so tiny. I tried to get the larger ones out, but the tiny ones are still living in the coarse sponge, and there's still scuds in the coarse sponge.
Well, they're obviously enjoying it.
Yes. Yes. And I hope they grow up nice and big. And in the meantime, I've got a ton of extra scuds I'm so excited about. I'm going to see what I can do.
Cherry shrimp with scuds, right, Daddy Kingslayer? How about that? You know what's interesting? Alex was saying on his stream just tonight that you should not keep them together.
I didn't mean to.
Right. Funny, isn't it?
It was not my intention. I know that, and that's what the internet says too. Like that, if you're there, look, I read a bunch of stuff on the internet, and then my experiences sometimes match up, and sometimes they don't, or sometimes it's yes with different caveats or different circumstances. So it's I don't know. I mean, if you're in a sterile environment where there isn't a living food web and there isn't a lot of detritus, I imagine the scuds and the cherry shrimp would be competing for food, but apparently there was enough food that they didn't care.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of why. But I have hundreds.
Oh, Lucas is up. We need to get out of here.
Okay. I want to go listen to him. He's fun.
All right, my dears. Nice to be with you all. Delighted to be here. It's been great fun. Lucas is up. Let's all go slam Lucas.
Yes. Tell him that Father Fish sent you. He'll love that.
You bet. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we'll be back Sunday night with Mary Page. And go look at my talking with water, talking to water video I just posted today. I really like it. I think it's a good video. Nobody else seems to, but check it out and tell me what you think. Love you all. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.